time here in the under-20s fixture, and it's Rockdale winning by 2 goals. Congratulations to
talking about him, bro. You weren't there first round when your coach said.
The ladder, and we look to finish the season strong with a couple more games to go.
What's with you, bro? What's it with you? What do you want, man? What do you want? What do you want, bro? You fucking keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. Fuck off.
Brendan Chalakian. Number 11, Lockie Constable. Number 16, Sophie Oka. Number 22, Blake Prosciutto. Number 23, Hunter Elliott. Substitutes for Rockdale. Number 2, Daniel Collins. Number 18, Pelicanos. Number 14, Braden Sorge. Number 15, Inga Sambola. Number 19, Jason Tchaikovsky. Number 20, Ricardo Rizzo.
Nah, I got it replaced, eh? I got it replaced.
Testing. Rockdale Ilinden Sports Centre is the scene for round 28 of the NPL New South Wales Men's. the thumbs.
Let's hear it for your Rockdale Ilinden.
Good afternoon, everybody. Tony Tanous with you in commentary for this round 28 NPL Men's New South Wales match of the round, and it features top-placed Rockdale Ilinden taking on their neighbours, the Sutherland Sharks, in a local derby that's dubbed the Over the Bridge Derby. It's a rivalry that's dated back for the last couple of decades in the top flight, and Rockdale are looking to take one step closer to the premiership that they so covet, while the Sutherland Sharks coming to this one, knowing the importance. The past 2 decades, they've been a regular fixture in the top flight, and their status is on the line with 3 weeks left. So, an important game for the visitors. This one is set to be a blockbuster. It's a pleasure to have your company wherever you're watching football. New South Wales YouTube is the spot. Sit back, relax. We'll take you through the respective lineups. And for the home side, Nick Stavroulakis has made 2 changes from the side that had another late dramatic win on the road last week against the Wollongong Wolves. Coming in are Lachlan Griffiths and Brendan Chalakian back for a suspension. The full lineup in goals is Nick Soros. The back 4 of Hunter Elliott, Lachlan Griffiths, Blake Grasciuto and Georgia Esperanza. The midfield trio are Isaac Danso, So Kataoka and Brendan Chalakian. It's a front 3 on the flanks, Lockie Constable and Bay Antonio. And leading the line is the competition sharpshooter, the Golden Boot from last year, the Player of the Year from last year, and he's looking to take his club to that all-elusive premiership in Alec Urosevski, currently on 29 goals. And as for the visitors, they welcome back their manager in Steve Zorich. He's been away for 5 weeks overseas with family commitments, and he makes one change to the side that suffered the late dramatic loss against the Central Coast Mariners last week. Coming in, returning from suspension, is Jake Garner. The full lineup, Nenad Vekic in goals. The back 3 of Mitch Stamatelis, and either side of him, Takahiti Umubachi and Jake Garner. On the right, Lockie McDonald. On the left, Matt Jackson. The holding midfielders, Mo Ahmed, who's back here at Rockdale, a former Rockdale player himself. And alongside him, Katoro Katsuta. And it's a front 3, Jay McGowan and Matt Morich on the flanks. And leading the line for them is the youngster in Levi Shuriaga. They're our respective starting 11s. Our referee for this one, Mushtaba, about to get proceedings underway. It will be the home side sitting atop the ladder, coming into this match by 3 points ahead of the Marconi Stallions. And Brendan Chalakian kicks us off. Rockdale running from right to left in their traditional red and black. And it's Kataoka spreading it out to that right-hand side for Constable. Kataoka, who was terrific last week in that 2-1 victory over the Wollongong Wolves. A late dramatic winner from this man who's just passed the ball in Blake Grasciuto. That's a lovely ball in behind. And there's an early foul as Stamatelis comes across. And that's an early decision for the referee. And it looks like it's just outside the box. A lovely ball in behind. The ball from Giorgio Speranza. It was Bay Antonio who got to it ahead of Stamatelis. He was the player involved in that controversial moment deep in stoppage time against the Central Coast Mariners last week, adjudged to have given away a penalty that gave the Mariners all 3 points. He's been in sparkling vintage form, Mitch Stamatellis, but he's got to walk the tightrope now with that yellow card early in the fixture. And it gives Rockdale a chance from a set piece. You can see it's just outside the 18-yard box. Fortunately for Sutherland, they finished the game last week by giving away a penalty. And that one just outside the box. And Stamatellis, an early booking for him. What can Kataoka do from the set piece? His set piece delivery in the second half of the season has been terrific. He puts it into a dangerous area, and Vekic got an all-important touch. Such an experienced custodian. And that was crucial that he got a hand to that. Pushed it around for a corner. Keep an eye on the delivery from So Kataoka. The Japanese import has really caught the eye. He goes towards the knee post. He's going to be marked up by his opposite number, Levi Shuriaga. That one is attacked at the knee post. And Sutherland look to clear. They'll be bitterly disappointed to have not picked up a point in that match of the round last week, round 27 against the Central Coast Mariners. There was not a lot in that match for large parts. It was a tight affair, and it was decided late on from the penalty spot as McGowan, their top scorer, looks to make the early attack down the right-hand side. Rashudo coming across to get the block in. One of 3 games kicking off simultaneously on this Super Sunday, and it's a big one at the foot of the table because the Mariners are also in action at home. We'll keep you posted on progress in their match against the Wollongong Wolves. But right now, it's the Sutherland Sharks in this local derby. Can they take the early lead? They drift this one up towards the back post. Griffiths happy to knock it away. McGowan gets it back across. Great opportunity, and it's Stamatellis who gets the opener. The Sharks go up in this all-important local derby. And Stamatellis, who featured here at Rockdale for all those years, has come back to haunt his old club. And he's got the opener. Terrific delivery from McGowan, recycling that set piece. And it was Stamatellis who was too big and too strong in the air, having just given away a yellow card at the other end. He has been in sparkling vintage form throughout the season. You would have seen him featured across our NPL New South Wales socials as in the Player of the Month awards for July, Defender of the Month, not for the first time in season 2024. We've spoken often over the past month or so about the importance of Vekic and Stamatellis, the experience. And Stamatellis stepped up with a big play in the early part of this match. Here's Urosevski. They've been a little bit goal shy just the last couple of home games, the Sharks, but they've got an early one here. That's the perfect early tonic for them. Stamatellis climbed highest and he got it past the in-form custodian. There's not much Nicholas Soros could do about that. Speaking to Steve Zorich ahead of the match, he reflected on the mentality of the team. They were bitterly disappointed with that awarding of penalty late on last week, and they've got off to a really good start, showing that they're right up for this. Shuriaga just drifting into an offside position. Such a big game. Wherever you're watching, spread the word. Rockdale coming into this 3 points ahead of Marconi. They came into the round 6 points ahead of Marconi. If they can get the win today, they will go to 6 points. It won't quite be job done because there's 2 rounds still to go. They would still need a point from their remaining 2 games to confirm the premiership in season 2024. Their first full season premiership title They did, of course, seal the premiership in 2020 in the abbreviated COVID season. But this would be the first one as far as the full fixture list of the season is concerned. There's a heavy challenge there from Kataoka on the former Rockdale player in Mo Ahmed. There's no love lost when these two sides meet, and you're seeing some early fierce challenges. The bridge derby, the over-the-bridge derby, it's certainly one that the locals here love. And this is the perfect start as McDonald has got a bit of space on this right-hand side. McGowan's already got himself an assist to add to his tally for the season. It's a great ball in behind. In fact, it was Urosevski just drifting into an offside position. Bekic just giving some instructions to his young wing back. Stamatellis looking for the switch of play. He'll be determined after that dramatic finish last week. What a start to this round 28 fixture. Down the right-hand side come Rockdale. They're in sparkling form in this season, particularly here at home. Coming into this round 28 match on the back of 10 wins in a row. 11 of their 13 matches they've won this season. We have to go back to round 2 and 3, the only time when they haven't won here at home. So 10 wins in a row, 32 goals in those 10 wins. And they've done it coming from behind on a couple of occasions. In fact, the last time we were here, a fortnight ago, against last year's premiers and champions in Apia, they did it the hard way with 2 late goals for a 2-1 victory. And they're going to have to come from behind again, but the Sharks are really in flowing mood early on. It was the message coming out of camp. You might have seen on our NPL New South Wales socials, Chris Lindsay, their experienced defender, with his pre-game thoughts, speaking about how they would come out of the gates quickly. And that certainly hasn't been any exaggeration about that. They're really positive, really intent early on. Steve Zorich, former Rockdale manager, of course, took Rockdale to that 2020 successful season where they won the premiership first past the post, and they played in that epic grand final against Sydney United 58 over at the Palace, Marconi Stadium. Who can forget that? They'll be hoping for more silverware. It's a big month or so coming up for Rockdale Ilinden. Not only the chance of premiership success, as Chalakian looks to stand this one up towards Constable, who has to turn and retrieve. Quickly onto him was Jackson. Not only have they got premiership ambition, they'll go into the final series, which will start at the conclusion of round 30. Here is the long throw. Prosciutto putting himself about in the box. Now Griffiths keeps it alive. A little bit too heavy on that for Urosevski. That is going to be a goal kick to the Sharks. They'll be in action Rockdale midweek, Wednesday night, over at Estrada Jubilee in the Waratah Cup final. And what a blockbuster that's set to be. Rockdale looking for their first ever Waratah Cup victory up against multiple-time champions in Apia, Leichhardt. Last year's NPL winners. Apia suffering that loss in the Waratah Cup final last year to Sydney United 58, so they're going to be certainly keen for revenge. Get one back on Wednesday night, and tickets have gone on sale for that. Jump on the NPL New South Wales socials for the link to that. Ticketek is your spot to get all the tickets for Wednesday night's big Waratah Cup final over at Nostrata Jubilee. Recently featured Rockdale did play there against Sydney Olympic only a few weeks ago in the National Premier League competition. We saw the quality of the surface there, two teams that love to play football, so that's going to be a spectacular contest on Wednesday night. So make sure you get your tickets. We'll see you out there. We'll have the coverage for you live and exclusive as always on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. I'll be there behind the mic along with Alex Molchanov. We'll be bringing you all the action on Wednesday night, 7:30 kickoff. Hope to see you there. If not, join us on the live stream. Sutherland Sharks will be really pleased with the start here. They're taking a high position. They're trying to be really proactive and ask a few questions of Rockdale. They've got the goal, if you just joined us, via Mitch Stamatellis, a former Rockdale player. This rivalry, this local derby. Here is Rashudo. They love to knock it around to Rockdale. They know the job's not done yet as far as the premiership is concerned. They know that they still have to pick up points. And if they don't pick up any today, that could be a massive talking point, a massive storyline. Quick throw in behind, looking for Urosevski. This time it was Stamatellis who got his body in front. And there's plenty of early feeling in this one. Stamatellis is right up for a big game, the skipper for the Sutherland Sharks. Not only featuring in our Player of the Month awards for July, he and Urosevski both among those 4 players chosen. Urosevski, of course, our striker of the month. Featured, both those players have featured multiple times throughout the season in NPL Team of the Week. That's another foul. Those are starting to certainly mount. Not a lot of time for both these sides in possession. Both being very aggressive at their pressing games, and this is a great first touch here from McDonald. Chance to whip this one in. Up against Giorgio Speranza. Joining in now is McGowan. By Antonio working back. McGowan still alive, and it was a nice idea there. He saw Matt Morich inside, and Morich wasn't too far away from making it 2-0, or at least getting a toe on it. Positive early signs again for the visitors. They win it high. Can they ask another question? Referee says play on as Griffiths makes the challenge. Cross now through Giorgio Speranza. His brother in Roberto having to make do with a spot on the bench today, along with Dean Pelikanos. They're the 2 players. There's an early question again for the referee. This time Shuriaga up against Rashudo, and like Stamatellis at the other end. Rashudo issued with a yellow card for that challenge on Shuriaga. So plenty of tense moments, plenty of heat early on. Two central defenders on an early yellow card, so they've got to be really careful from here. Just past the 15-minute mark. Just joining us 1-0 to the visitors, and that was a delightful little nutmeg from Jay McGowan, a 23-year-old on the experienced Giorgio Speranza. Be very pleased with their early pressure they are putting on the competition leaders Here is Garner, as I said in the intro, back into the starting 11 today after serving his suspension. Got a red card, in fact, in that 2-1 victory a fortnight ago against Manly United. So he had to serve that suspension last week. Back in today. Chris Lindsay, the player, making way for the Sky Blues. Nice little link up with Katsuta in the midfield. Here's McDonald. What a return back to Sutherland it's been for the youngster, who started his career at Sutherland in the SAP program as an 8-year-old. Player who has represented the national team at youth level. Spent a couple of seasons away, most recently at the MacArthur Bulls in the second tier of football New South Wales. It has been a welcome return, especially with the injury to Ethan Bevan. A hamstring injury that he suffered against Sydney United 58. Here's Urosevski over the top from Chalakian. He's back into the starting 11 today. He was also suspended last week in that trip to Wollongong. So that's meant a bit of a shuffle in the midfield with Dean Pelikanos rested for this one. He's just got a bit of tightness in the hamstring. A big game on Wednesday night, of course, the Waratah Cup final, so it's about the managing of the loads. Got a terrific squad. Rockdale have shown that right throughout the year. Whoever stepped in has been able to do the job. So Roberto Esperanza on the bench today. Daniel Collins, another defender who's on the bench. And Dean Pelikanos. Might see those three in action a little bit later. The other outfield substitutions. It's great news for Rockdale with the return today of Braden Sorge. Braden Sorge has been out since that round 20. That dramatic 9-0 loss to the Marconi Stallions where he suffered a foot injury. He's been in a moon boot, but he's been back in action now for a couple of weeks as Chalakian just comes to the sideline to get a bit of treatment for what looks like a cut just over the right eye. I'll clear that. He might be patched up as the long throw comes in. Vekic with the header away. It falls now to Griffiths. Tries to tee it up to Dunsor. And he can't get his shot on target. Just confirming again that bench. In fact, Roberto Esperanza, he's rested for this one, just managing his load with some big important games to come. So that full bench for Rockdale. Ricardo Rizzo's the reserve keeper. Daniel Collins, Dean Pelikanos, Yinka Sunmola, Braden Sorge, and Jason Kukovsky as McGowan gets in behind now for the visitors. He's already got himself an assist. Looking there to cut it back to Katsuta. They keep it alive. Good win there from McDonald. He looks to link it up. Great first touch. Can he find the delivery? Just over the head there of Katsuta. Now Constable can look to come away. Katsuta with the recovery to help out Jackson. Lovely play here from the Sharks. They do like to possess the ball. Certainly build up out of the back under Steve Zorich. We saw that when Zorich was in charge of Rockdale in that premiership winning season of 2020. Rockdale, who've been up in the top flight since 2009. What a terrific job this club is doing. They continue to grow from strength to strength. We saw a terrific crowd here for the Australia Cup match against Newcastle Jets. I felt that they were unlucky in that fixture. Really shown their qualities in the NPL competition. They showed plenty in that round 32 match. They've made some real steady progress, and Really, things are flourishing in recent times, and they're looking to add trophies, silverware in season 2024 as the referee has to go to his pocket again. That time McDonald for the challenge on Giorgio Speranza. So he joins his skipper in referee Ibrahimi's book. Lucky McDonald also has to walk the tightrope now. We had some progress scores around the grounds. I mentioned 3 games simultaneously kicking off at 3 p.m. There's big news from the Central Coast with the Wolves lead by 1-0 as Urosevski gets in behind after the feed from Chalakian, and he tried to catch the keeper out. Vekic had to be alert at that near post, and that was a good stop in the end. Urosevski from the acutest of angles there. Almost Ned Zelic-esque, catching out the keeper. Almost. Certainly a player with the technical attributes to execute goals like that. He's a real master with that left foot. Alec Urosevski has gone past his tally in season 2023, where he won the Golden Boot with 27 goals. He's already on 29 with still 2 rounds to go after this one. Hoping to hit the 30 mark. He's more than 10 ahead of his nearest rival. Roy O'Donovan's been playing catch-up. They've had a ding-dong battle over the years. O'Donovan pipping him for the Golden Boot in season 2022. Late on. Oh, he's Chalakian. Switching the play out now. Nice ball to Bay Antonio. McDonald shut it down quickly though. Rockdale feeling that they're growing into this one. Urosevski, seen him sniffing around for goals inside the box. This time he's looking to play provider with the long throw. Right into the dangerous area for Griffiths. And it was Stamatellis marking the central defender. So Wollongong have taken the lead. They've got ambitions of their own, looking for a spot in the top 6. Up against the Central Coast Mariners. So the Mariners, after that dramatic late win through their skipper in Lucas Shikluna. His penalty late on. We put it past Vekic. The only goal of round 27, match of the round. They've got to retrieve a 1-0 deficit. Keep you posted on that. We've also got a goal over at the Wanderers Academy. Sydney United 58, who are also chasing points as far as their top 6 ambitions are concerned. So plenty to play for right across the competition. They're currently 1-0 up over the Western Sydney Wanderers, who've had a player sent off in the opening 25 minutes of that. In fact, that red card coming in the opening 10 minutes. So the Wanderers are going to have a difficult one, playing at least 85 minutes with one player less. As McDonald ducks inside, they've got options here. Nice idea. You could see what they were trying to do. Katsuta getting forward. We've seen him in high areas throughout the opening period of the match. Seen him throughout the last couple of months playing in more of a withdrawn role today. Certainly getting forward and trying to add an extra number to the attack. Here's Umabachi. Now McGowan. Looking down the line, Shuriaga has been growing throughout the season. A youngster who's certainly made an impression, often isolated in the front third. Doing a terrific job. Does all the movement and running around in the front third to provide the option. Link up the players much as he can. Proved a handful for defenders, certainly in the second part of the campaign. Here's the throw. This time from McDonald. Now it's going to fall edge of the box, and it was a decent sider there for Katsuta. Couldn't get his shot down, but he had a little bit of room. Eyes lit up. And you don't need a second invitation when the ball's dropping like that. Central midfielders love that opportunity to strike first time from the volley. Who doesn't? If you're just joining us, Tony Tanous here in commentary with you for this round 28 NPL Men's New South Wales Match of the Round. This local rivalry that's dubbed the Over the Bridge Derby. Stansel gets it out now to Giorgio Speranza. His opposite number in Umabachi. Clearing first time, but it's going to come back again through Chalakian. There's a heavy challenge. The referee saying play advantage there. Chalakian now. Quickly shut down by Mo Ahmed, who did well and got himself the free kick. Plenty from both sides in the ear of the referee in the early first half hour of this one. Trying to influence such an important match. The result here could have a big bearing for both of these sides, particularly for the Sharks, who really need the points at the bottom of the table. Coming into this in 13th spot, just 1 point outside the drop zone at the moment. The two teams that are in those bottom two spots. Sydney FC, they're on 22 points and above them by 2 points. In fact, just confirming, Sydney FC on 23 points and above them by 1 point. Hills United, who were in action last night. And Hills suffering a 3-1 loss at home to the Marconi Stallions. So Hills currently sitting in that second from bottom spot. The team that finishes at the bottom will be automatically relegated to the Football New South Wales League One. And the team that finishes second from bottom, they will take on the team that finishes second in Football New South Wales League One over a two-legged playoff. Currently at the top of that ladder is the Mount Druitt Town Rangers, looking for an immediate bounce back to the top tier. The team that finishes top will go up automatically to NPL New South Wales. The team that finishes second, as I said, will go into that playoff, and it's the Bulls Academy currently sitting in that spot. Still plenty to play for across both tiers. 2 rounds to come after this. Super Sunday as Urosevski. It's quickly shut down there by Jake Garner. Doing well, the left centre back, just to get across and help out Stamatellis. They have given up a corner. What a season it has been for Rockdale, but they know the job is not quite done just yet. Marconi have put on a wonderful run over the past few months under the tutelage of Peter Tsakinis. They're really pushing Rockdale all the way to the finish line as Kata Oka gets this one in. Garner having made the challenge that gave away the corner. He's got an important defensive header, but it's going to be another corner. And Bay Antoni is going to go across and take this one. Can Rockdale hit back before the half-time break? They've still got plenty of time. Antonio looking across. Rashudo with the initial header. It's going to fall here to Dunsall, who can spread it back out towards Antonio. He whips it in. Dangerous area. And Vekic came. And that's exactly what you want from your custodian. Such an experienced figure in Nenad Vekic. And he gets it going quickly with some lovely distribution out to Shuriaga. He gets the opportunity to go one-on-one against Dunsall. He did so well just to stand up, not commit. Forced the youngster into a decision. What about the work there of Katsuta? Working back. Nice work from McGowan just to keep that ball under pressure. Here's Garner. Out now to Jackson. Chance to switch the play. McGowan hesitated initially, but the ball made its way all the way across to him, and now McGowan can whip it in. Prosciutto at the near post clears. Stamatellis always looking to add that extra number into the midfield. McDonald's been impressive early on. Lovely shape on that one. Who's it going to fall to? Jackson. Looks to keep it alive in the box now. He goes down looking for a penalty. The referee having none of that. Here is McGowan. Eyes lit up there, the opportunity with a bit of space. And now Stamatellis. That's going to stay in. So the chase is on. Goals coming in around the grounds, and they're all coming from the away side so far. Wollongong Wolves have made it 2-0 over at the Central Coast Mariners Academy. So the Mariners having just managed to get themselves out of the bottom two with that 3 points last week. As things stand on the live table, they'll still be outside the bottom, just above the bottom two. Sydney FC will be in action a little bit later on. Sydney FC will be away to Apia. 5:30 kickoff over at Lambert Park. So the action will come to you all the way through to 7:30 p.m. Make sure you tune in for that one later on. An important one for Sydney FC in particular. Referee's just going to come across and have a word. No, Ahmed involved in a bit of push and shove here. Referee saying he's all over it, seeing that push and shove with Hunter Elliott and Gataoka at the near post. Donald comes short. This one can't get it beyond Gataoka. Lovely turn there from Jackson. He's got McDonald available, and that's where he eventually goes. Chalakian shuts him down well. Looks for Urosevski. Garner was quickly onto it. Might be a bit of room here. And suddenly it's 3 versus 3, and Sutherland have to get back quickly. And there was Stamatellis doing exactly that. Terrific piece of defending there from the skipper, having done the business in the opening exchanges with a headed goal. And that was equally as important work, because it was 3-on-3, and Rockdale was suddenly trying to play the numbers game. Sydney United have also doubled their lead over at the Wanderers Academy. So the two A-League Academy sides, both at home currently. Both down by 2-0. Here's Garner under pressure. Back to Vekic, who doesn't hesitate in getting it forward first time. Good win by Prosciutto. Now Danso. Prosciutto's carried his run forward. Tried to get it into Antonio. Chalakian's there as well. Now it's going to fall to Urosevski, who can go to work inside the 18-yard box, looking to tee it up to Antonio. And Stamatellis was across sharply. Still alive here through Urosevski. What about the save from Nenad Vekic? The flag was up, and it would have denied by Antonio. But you have to credit Vekic for the save, the reflexes, the old fox between the sticks, producing a wonderful save. It wouldn't have counted. That was again another great delivery from Urosevski, that left foot of his. And Antonio with the subtle little flick on at the near post. Garner with the header. Morich competing. Nice ball. The idea was good from McDonald, but Prosciutto read it well, and he can carry his forward run again. And we'll have to send extras forward. Rockdale, when any opportunity. Team that love to possess the ball, knock it around, playing those quick 1-2 patterns through the midfield. And when they get it into that front third, they explode. They've been so good. It's how quickly they've got forward this season. Also, so good when they can stretch the play from side to side. And they've got it in here to Urosevski. First touch forward as always. And now he's looking across. Getting that recovery. Garner putting the pressure on Urosevski, and Stamatelis sweeping in the centre of the defence. I want to make sure they don't concede before the half-time break. Still plenty of time for Rockdale to hit back. And it's been a good period for them. Can they create the opportunity? Is there a counter-attack potential here with Stamatelis stepping up? And now McGowan can spread it out. And suddenly they're 2v1. Can they get the numbers right? The ball from Morich was a little bit, the weight on that, not quite enough. But they've done well to pinch it through Katsuta. And now McGowan looks to slide it in behind. And Elliott was adjudged to have been fouled. Shuriaga was the target. Sutherland showing equally that they like to get forward. Maybe having a bit too much to say there. The youngster in Matt Morich. And he becomes the third Sharks player to be booked. Joining Stamatelis, who's just stayed down and will get a bit of treatment. Referee just checking on his well-being. Morich joining Stamatelis and McDonald as the three Sharks players booked in this opening period. Great opportunity there on the counter-attack. The pass just wasn't quite in sync. He might have had a 2v1 opportunity. Here's Stamatelis up against Urosevski. Ref says play on as Garner steps up, and this time it's going to be a free kick to Rockdale. The Sharks felt that it should have been theirs in the first phase. Ref said play on. And then Garner. There's a bit going on. Every loose ball in the midfield. So Rockdale get a set piece. It is in an area where they can think about going direct. It looks like Garner will also be booked. So two of the central defenders now on yellow cards. Garner for that challenge on Urosevski. Becomes the fourth Sutherland Sharks player to be booked in this opening period. Only one for the home side in Rockdale. Alec Urosevski is that player. Here it is, Urosevski. Kataoka, the other player over this dead ball. And Vekic just putting up a four-man wall. We've got the left foot of Urosevski, the right foot of Kataoka. It will be the skipper. He goes around the wall, and what about that from Alec Urosevski? He scores his 30th of the season. And he brings a bit of calm here at the Rockdale Ilinden Sports Centre. After going behind to Mitchell Stamatelis, Alec Urosevski with a wonderful free kick, catching out the Sutherland Sharks wall. And The Sharks can't quite believe their luck. They thought they might have had a free kick in the build-up to that phase. Eventually it was Garner who was adjudged to have been the player to have committed the foul. And Alec Urosevski, as he does, a delightful free kick around the wall, catching out Vekic. And we are level 1-1 here at the Rockdale Ilinden Sports Centre. How often have they done it the hard way? Rockdale in season 2024. They were mounting the pressure and starting to ask the questions. And can they turn it right around before the half-time break? They've got it in with Bayantoniou, and he whips it in. The free kick's been awarded, this time against Stamatellis. And there's so much going on every time the ball goes forward. Stamatellis and Urosevski at the heart of it. And this is some contest. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you're watching. Tony Tanous with you live from the Rockdale Ilinden Sports Centre as the ball goes forward to McGowan. Onto him is Kataoka, his compatriot in Katsuta. Wanted to get in on the action too. Sutherland will be disappointed to have conceded that way. A direct free kick. Didn't quite get their bearings right as far as the setup from that set piece was concerned, but what might be right against most opponents, Alec Urosevski's a different kettle of fish altogether. One of the sharpest shooters in Australian football. And you give him a set piece, a free kick outside the box, and he shows his qualities and the resilience that Rockdale have showed throughout the season. Nick Stavroulakis and his assistant Vedran Jaganchak, they'll be delighted with the response from their side. Not the best start against a clearly motivated neighbour, but haven't they hit back? The Sharks have to really rally themselves, make sure they don't concede another one for the half-time break. Referee just wanting to have a chat again this time. Looks like Alec Urosevski and Jake Garner, the two players just being brought across for a conversation. Garner is on a yellow card and has to be careful. Last down in the bottom, in the second tier, Sutherland. We have to go back over 20 years. They spent 2 seasons in the second tier. Seasons 2002 and 3, as well as this following season, 2003-04. Since then, they've been a regular fixture. They've got a proud record in the top flight. They have won the premiership. They've won the championship as well. In fact, when we go back to the championship victory in 2009, it was Nick Stavroulakis, the now coach of Rockdale Ilinden, who was the skipper. So those connections have been long and strong between these two proud clubs. Both coaches today spending time at the opponent at some stage in their career. Stavroulakis as a player for the Sharks and Zoric as a coach for Rockdale. Those storylines. Board has gone up. 2 minutes. The fourth official, Thomas Dale, has indicated. So we are now into stoppage time. And is that a free kick? The Sharks players certainly felt so. Shuriaga went down. The referee's going to go check on his well-being. No Andrew Vlahadamis on the bench today. He came in during the transfer window. He's been another option for them in the front third. So I hope this is nothing too serious for Shuriaga, with Vlahodemis out suspended today. Their attacking options are the likes of Mason Fernandez. They've also got one of their new mid-season signings in Richard Shueki on the bench today. Another attacking outlet. As Constable looks to go forward to Hunter Elliott. Jackson's up against him and does well. The left wing back for the Sharks. But Hunter Elliott. It's a good battle between the two youngsters. Elliott trying to inject something on that right-hand side for Rockdale. Jackson just trying to hold him up, but it's going to be another long throw. We've seen the effect of Urosevski from the set pieces. Are they going to take the lead before half time? They've got a corner, the home side, and there'll be just about enough time to take it. We are into stoppages. They have shown that they can be dangerous from set pieces, and this will be the perfect time to take the lead. Here it comes from Bay Antonio. Vekic comes out, doesn't muck around. He goes with the punch. Urosevski keeps it alive. Stamatellis just stepping out. The Sharks trying to see it out to half time. And this has been a fascinating, absorbing round 28 match of the round. This local derby. And it was the visitors, the Sharks, who took the lead in the 4th minute through former Rockdale player Mitch Stamatellis. I feel that they haven't necessarily had the rub of the green as far as decisions are concerned. They debated the free kick that was given to Urosevski, who punished them from outside the box. He rounded the wall and put it past Vekic, and there's a big debate going on as the two teams go into the halftime break. The scores are locked at 1-1, and the second half, you won't want to be anywhere else, so take a break. We'll be back shortly. Football New South Wales, YouTube is the spot.
Dual Core Packaging, Swift Air, Cityview Group, Bella Transport, B&B Bricklaying, Joe's Fresh Poultry.
And it is a welcome back to the Rockdale Ilinden Sports Centre for this round 28 NPL Men's New South Wales Match of the Round. Tony Tanous with you here. If you're just joining us, it's been a terrific first half. This local derby, this local rivalry with so much at stake at both the top and bottom of the ladder. We are entering this second half locked at 1-1. Goals coming at either end of the half with Mitch Stamatellis scoring in the 4th minute. Terrific header against his former club. He's been a central figure along with Alec Urosevski, who's gone to 30 now for the season with his equaliser on 41 minutes. A wonderful free kick from outside the box. He got it around the wall. There might have been a bit of disorganisation in the wall from the Sutherland Sharks. I'll be disappointed to have conceded after playing so well in the opening period and with so much at stake. But Steve Zorich has no doubt addressed things at the break. And we'll see how this second half pans out. Rockdale looking to go back atop the ladder by a 6-point margin over the Marconi Stallions. Drop any points here, and you just never know. Sutherland Sharks, it's all about their status. They want to avoid the bottom two. Currently entering the round in 13th spot, just outside the drop zone. Keep an eye also on the contest over at Central Coast, because both the Sharks and the Mariners coming into this round on 25 points, one ahead of Hills United, who lost last night. Sydney FC, they're a point further behind Hills. They're on 23. They play later tonight. And that's a great run forward from Katsuta. He couldn't quite bring it under control. Sydney FC on 23 points. Hills United 24. And the Sharks and Mariners on 25. So any point here with 2 rounds remaining, and those 2 rounds the Sharks will be back at home, and there'll be another couple of local derbies against the 2 St George sides. They've got to make sure they don't concede again against this Rockdale side that have won 10 in a row, and we're going to see a 5th yellow card issued to a Sharks player, this time Jay McGowan, for the foul on Urosevski. And that tally is now 5 to the Sharks, 1 to Rockdale Ilinden. Rockdale with 10 wins on the spin here at home. Been in wonderful rampant goal-scoring form, and this one's almost in exactly the identical spot to the goal on 41 minutes. No doubt you'll see that one replayed over the coming week. And Urosevski has gone to 30 now for the campaign. He'll have to be favourite here. Have the Sharks learnt from the disorganisation in the wall for that equalising goal? Urosevski! And it's just over the crossbar. The confidence of hitting the back of the net, and he almost did exactly the same thing there. And that one was, the trajectory was a bit higher. Vekic certainly was interested in that. The Baker delivering, as always, for Rockdale. Can give you an update from the Central Coast, where the Mariners were able to hit back just before half-time. The Wollongong Wolves continue to lead by 2-1. The Mariners looking to take anything away from that, looking for the comeback. Meanwhile, Sydney United 58 continue to lead the Wanderers by 2-0. We'll keep you posted on those scores. I will wrap up the remainder of the round. It's kicked off on Friday night. Omabachi, who has found the back of the net a couple of times in recent weeks. He's going to pick up the loose ball here. And back to Ghana. Kept his calm. Now it's down the line. Looking for McDonald. Prosciutto working across. Currently locked at 1-1. Rockdale have shown a real resilience this season. The goals have flowed at times, but they've also shown that they can do it the hard way. A string of 2-1 victories, particularly over the last couple of months. In fact, since that dramatic, much talked about 9-0 loss to the Marconi Stallions in round 20, they have only had one loss from the 7 matches. Since then, 6 wins. And of those 6 wins, 5 of them have come by virtue of a 2-1 scoreline. And here's Urosevski looking to make it exactly that, as he plays it inside to Bayantoniu, and it was important work as Garner got across. Urosevski now on the left foot, looks to go to the byline. Stamatellis was quick to shut him down. In fact, it was Garner again. He's done that on multiple occasions. He has to be careful, the young left centre back, sitting on a yellow card. This one's going to be difficult for the keeper in Vekic. He's looking right into the sun. And we know Kataoka can whip them in. He's got Bayantoniu at the near post. Prosciutto over his head. And it goes over everyone. He's been so accurate with his delivery since coming into the fold. The Japanese import, Kataoka. That wasn't one of his best. Did see a game played on Friday night. St. George City coming away with a 2-1 victory over at Manly United. St. George City competing for the opportunity to make the finals. They're right on the edge of the top 6 at the moment, so every result important to them. And next week they will be away to the Sutherland Sharks, so another massive game for both the clubs. And it's going to be another corner here to Kataoka. Griffiths in there. It's just over him. Stamatellis with the header. Moric can clear. In fact, it was already over the byline, so it's going to be another corner. Just past the 5-minute mark in this second half. No change to the score. 1-1 it is. Rockdale versus Sutherland. Kataoka's got Urosevski at the back post. Prosciutto comes near, and it's him and Griffiths who attack that. Danso looking to pick up the loose ball. First time out to Kataoka. Umabachi with the header. And McGowan surely fouled there. And Sutherland can't quite believe it wasn't a yellow card for the professional foul, what they deem to be a professional foul. I feel that things have gone against them as far as the yellow card count's concerned. As I said earlier, 5-1. Here's Elliott. Working back well was McGowan. Excellent work in defensive transition, but credit also to Constable. He got back sharply there. And to Elliott just staying down after that contact with McGowan. Great to see a familiar face for Rockdale out here. Mathieu Cordier. You'll remember the big news around him a month ago here in Match of the Round against Sydney United 58, suffering that horrible leg break. Great to see him out here supporting his teammates. He's been such a central figure for Rockdale over the past couple of seasons. By all reports, the operation went extremely well, and he's on the road to recovery. He's been enjoying the Olympics. It's probably come at a good time for him, doing his recoveries, able to take his mind off what has been a horrible injury. We wish him all the best over the coming months, the off-season, as he looks to get back onto the field in season 2025. Mathieu Cordier Forward it goes. Bay Antonio. He's been terrific so far this afternoon, Antonio. His link-up work with Urosevski yet again. And there was the defensive transition, this time McDonald. It's going to be another opportunity for Kataoka. We've had 10 minutes in this second half. No change to the halftime score. Rockdale asking the questions early in this second period. Over the head of Vekic, and it was a great opportunity there as Chalakian. We don't often see him get on the end of headers. He's had a wonderful season. He couldn't get his header down. Another excellent corner from Kataoka. Look how quickly Hunter Elliott was on to Jackson. Here is Danso. Now Griffiths. He's made himself a real regular fixture now in the NPL New South Wales after moving across from the capital football. Nice bit of work down that far side from the competition leaders. Chalakian putting it into a dangerous area again, searching for Urosevski. Just his mere presence spooks opponents. He's so good at finding pockets in the opposition box. Ghana. Very much the Zoric way. Building out from the back. And switching it out to the opposite side. Can give you an update from the Central Coast, and it's a big update with the Mariners finding an equaliser against the Wollongong Wolves. 12 minutes into the second period. They've levelled things up at 2-2. So still so much to play for here and at the Central Coast Mariners Academy. Both those results could have a big bearing on the eventual outcome at the foot of the table. What a ding-dong battle it is. Sharks looking to preserve their proud record in the top flight. The last time they went down was over 20 years ago. They did skip one of the COVID years, the COVID-interrupted campaigns a few years ago. They have been an ever-present in the top flight. And the remaining half hour of this Super Sunday. Strap yourselves in. We'll keep you posted on progress over at the Central Coast Mariners Academy. And, of course, the status for the Sharks as they look for crucial points. It's McGowan. Aims towards Stamatellis. Is it going to make it its way across to Jackson? He does well to battle against Bay Antonio. Was searching for the free kick. Ref says play on, though. And now Stamatellis. For once, the touch of Urosevski. You don't say that often. Lets him down. Trying to get that under control on the left thigh. Just a reminder, as we mentioned earlier on, the Waratah Cup final on Wednesday night. The Strata Jubilee is the spot. 7:30 p.m. kickoff. And that's going to be an absolute blockbuster. The two games between Rockdale and Apia this season. And those results have been split. They've been shared. Apia perhaps feeling that they've dominated both of those games. But somehow, a fortnight ago, Rockdale came away with the 3 points, despite Apia probably dominating 60, 70 minutes of that match. And they've shared the results. Apia winning at Leichhardt Oval early in the season by 3-2. Rockdale bouncing back with a 2-1 victory a fortnight ago. And those two sides who are among the most fancied in the pre-season. They were the two top teams in season 2023. And they've lined up another classic as Hunter Elliott almost gets himself into a pickle there. First header, not quite enough on that to get to Suris. There's a nice turn from Kataoka. Keeper hasn't had too much to do. He's been in sparkling form, has Nikolasaurus. That game against Apia, he was incredible. Man of the match performance. Featured in our team of the week the past couple of weeks. NPL Men's New South Wales Team of the Week. There was Mo Ahmed just getting across to get to it ahead of Kataoka, but Griffiths keeping the pressure on. Cup final on Wednesday. Make sure you get your tickets. Ticketek is the spot. Jump on NPL New South Wales or Football New South Wales socials for all the information. Such a storied trophy. The great history. Rockdale looking to add their name to that piece of silverware. They've never made the final and they've never won the Waratah Cup. So that is a heavy challenge there. And the referee is going to be left with no choice but to issue a yellow card, this time to Chalakian for that lunge. As both coaches are about to go to their bench. Both coaches looking to make two substitutions here. Lockie Roberts and Mason Fernandez for the Sharks, and Daniel Collins on for Hunter Elliott. Dean Pelikanos will be on for Brendan Chalakian. So Collins will go into the back line. So Pelikanos on, Fernandez also on for the Sharks for Shuriaga. And Matt Jackson, the other player to make way for Jordan Roberts. So Jordan Roberts looks like he will play on the left side of the back four or back five. In fact, he is going to swap in the end with McDonald. So Roberts will go over to the right-hand side. McDonald, who started as the right wing back, he will move over to the left. And then it's a like-for-like swap up top with Fernandez going into that number 9 role for Shuriaga. Meanwhile, Pelikanos on for Chalakian, which will see Kataoka move into that number 10 role, and here he is. Pelikanos with his first involvement. Now Constable. Griffiths, who's moved across to right back. With Elliott coming off, Collins coming on. Collins going into the centre of defence, and here is Griffiths getting into a high advanced area. Pelikanos getting plenty of touches. Loves to be the metronome along with Danso in the centre of that midfield. Bounce, bounce. It is the Rockdale way. They play some lovely football as we've seen throughout the season. The template that's been set up by Paul D, who's away for the next few weeks. And stepping in, Nick Stavroulakis and Vedran Jaganchak. It's all about the Rockdale system and the method of play. They set high standards, their high tempo training methods. Bounce, bounce, quick ball movement. Quick movement into the forward line. And it's been a template that's delivered so much joy in season 2024. They've still got a bit to do. They pick up a point today as things stand, and they'll be 4 clear of the Marconi Stallions. Marconi play ahead of them next weekend. with that game on Wednesday night. Rockdale and Sydney FC were originally scheduled for Friday night, but McDonald tries his luck here. Got it on target, but comfortable for the keeper in Soros. And we're scheduled to play Sydney FC on Friday night to start round 29. But that game with the Wednesday fixture, that turnaround being too tight, that game has been moved to Monday night. So it'll be here at Rockdale. It's an away game for Rockdale Ilinden. Sydney FC using the ground as well. Garner didn't quite get enough on that. Can Rockdale keep it alive? Pelikanos does real well. Now he looks to combine with his former West Sydney Wanderers Academy teammate in Constable. Lovely little bit of play through the midfield here from Rockdale. Can the Sharks punish them quickly into counter-attack? Stamatellis gets involved, and now Morich can burst forward. Was he upended? Yes, he was. Griffiths working back in defensive transition. Morich did really well there. Got his body between man and ball. And he's earned a free kick. And a yellow card goes to Lockie Griffiths. Comes the second Rockdale player booked. And that gives the Sharks an opportunity. We saw Urosevski score from a similar range late in the first half. This time it's the substitute, and Geordie Roberts. Can he get one on target and test the keeper? Yet to hit the back of the net this season is Geordie Roberts. Can he find a crucial one here? And he's got it on target, and the keeper in Soros has got down really well there. Former youth custodian Nick Soros has had a terrific month since stepping into the fold. This is an opportunity perhaps for Katsuta, and it was Morich trying to turn on that. Decent effort there from Jordan Roberts, managing to test the keeper. He's such an imposing presence. Hasn't had too much to do, but it's all about the concentration for goalkeepers. Good press here from the Sharks. Stamatellis under pressure from Kataoka, and look at this high pinch now as Bay Antonio bears down on Umabachi. Antonio looks to get it across, and there was McDonald working back. Not quite enough weight on that cutback from Antonio. He saw Constable there, but McDonald, who's made the switch over to the left-hand side, was alert to his defensive responsibility and timed that tackle perfectly. Approaching the final 20 minutes. Rockdale keeping the pressure on. This one's going to be right into the sun as the Sharks look to defend it. Pelikanos. Clearance comes. Can McGowan make it stick? Quickly taken. Mason Fernandez with a delightful touch. And now he looks to switch it out. Collins had to be alert defensively. Rockdale thinking about another substitution, getting another of their attacking options readied in Yinka Sunmola, and it will be a substitution. The number 15 about to come on. See who makes way for him. It looks like Bay Antonio, so he will go over into that left attacking role, the number 11 role.
Substitution Rockdale coming up as number 9.
Bay Antonio's had a strong afternoon. Down that left-hand side, his combination with Urosevski at times has been right on point. Roberts launches it long. Constable with a ball into a good area, looking for Urosevski. Here's Pelikanos. Really looking to add that fresh injection. Enjoying his time at Rockdale since making the move across from the Western Sydney Wanderers. In fact, St George City in the end. He did spend time at the Wanderers, of course. But in between, spent the season at St George City. Here's Griffiths now. Looking to take on Morich. In it comes. Constable was attacking it. Couldn't get the header goal bound. And 1-1 it remains. No change to the score over at the Central Coast Mariners Academy. That remains 2-2 after the Wollongong Wolves had a 2-0 lead. Sydney United continue to lead the Wanderers by 2-0. And last night, a big win for St George FC. Steve Karavatakis, a former great player across the New South Wales top flight. Had a storied career as a player. He stepped in at St George, got a massive 3-0 victory against one of his former clubs in Sydney Olympic. That's taken St George, given them a little bit of a buffer away from the drop zone. Took them up to 29 points, equal with Manly United. So great result for St George FC. Newly promoted, of course, for this season. The former Budapest, the former National Soccer League giant. Also, last night, a big victory for Spirit FC after their midweek victory in the Australia Cup over Glenorchy. David Perkovic's men, they seem to have the edge over Blacktown City, particularly at Christie Park. Coming away with a 4-2 victory. So a couple of good wins for them, just giving them a little bit of a buffer as well. This is nice work here from Constable, looking across for Urosevski. Stamatelis read it like a book. McGowan, can he go on the dribble? Nice bit of work at Rockdale, doubling up on him as Danso comes forward. For once, his distribution lets him down. I don't say that very often. He is the archetypical metronome in that midfield. He has been terrific since stepping up from the Football New South Wales second tier. Spent a bit of time over in Spain, coming through the Levante Academy, and the style of football that he likes to play really allows Rockdale to play their possession-based football. Here he is, Danso again. Now Sun Mola, chance to show his fresh legs as Stamatelis comes across. He has to be careful, sitting on that early yellow card. Griffiths just about gets that touch forward to the other Lachlan. Constable plays it into Kataoka. Nice build up this. Can they find the final product? Garner across. So both games with a big bearing on the bottom of the ladder, currently locked up. This one, 1-1. Urosevski looking to give us that familiar scoreline. As I said, Rockdale, 5 of their last 6 wins have been by the virtue of 2-1. And here's Sutherland looking for their second goal. They've got the numbers forward. McGowan, he got the header on, their top scorer. And it looked like he was onside. The flag stayed down. But that was a difficult one to wrap his head around. The opportunity goes begging, almost a high pinch there. Chance still here for Mo Ahmed. Now Morich, who can line one up from outside, and that is a good opportunity. Perhaps not on his favoured foot. Matt Morich. We're about to see Sam Gulisano, a former Rockdale player, be introduced. He will be pumped up and motivated for a big game today. Gulisano will be coming on for the player who had that shot in Morich. And he was, like Mo Ahmed, a part of the 2020 squad under Steve Zorich here at Rockdale that won the premiership, lost on grand final day. He will be super motivated for a big late impact. And speaking of late impact, we will confirm, but it looks like the Mariners have come from behind. And that will be a massive result if that's the case. Trailing 2-0 against the Wollongong Wolves. We will confirm, but it looks like the Mariners have gone 3-2 up. With 10 or so minutes remaining, here's Fernandez, and it was Giorgio Speranza showing all his experience. Getting across just to get to it ahead of Fernandez. He's got himself a couple for the season so far. But it's been a long time between drinks for Mason Fernandez. What a time it would be to get one for the Sharks. Maybe that news will filter through about the Mariners, who are making a late run of things. That late dramatic winner at Sutherland last week. And here's Sutherland now with Gatsuta! And the flag's gone up to deny him. It was a sumptuous finish. The dink over the keeper in Soros. But the flag was up on that far side. Alessandro Lana right on the spot. Gatsuta, who's also managed to get a couple of goals. They came in one game on the road against Spirit FC. It wasn't too far away from making it 2-1 for the visitors. They'll be encouraged by the last few minutes where they've been on the attack, they've been pressing, winning it high. They know that they run the risk at the other end. As Rockdale look to get another substitute ready. In fact, two substitutes. And it's going to be a welcome back. We will confirm that with the next stoppage. Here's Stamatellis. And that was quickly shut down by Constable. He goes forward now for Rockdale. Out to Sunmola. He goes forward on the left-hand side, but Vekic got his body behind that. Not enough on it to trouble the keeper. Looks like we have had confirmation. The Mariners now up 3-2. What a turnaround at home against the Wolves. And if that stays as it is, they will move up to 28 points, one behind St. George FC. But the Sharks will move up to 26 as things stand. So they will be two behind the Mariners, with Sydney FC's game to come later this evening. Sydney FC on 23 points. So things continue to be very tight. And who knows how things will be at close of play on this Super Sunday. Football New South Wales YouTube is your spot for all the action all the way through to 7:30 p.m. Lambert Park will be the scene as Apia take on Sydney FC. That was important work from Geordie Roberts. Not only fresh legs, but a player in the back line that's not sitting on a yellow card. So when you are walking the tightrope with so many defenders on yellows, having one that's fresh, able to make those challenges certainly helps, as Constable looks to stand this one up towards the back post. Was that a foul against McGowan? Yes, it was. Got his body in front. He got the header on and he got the reward. And we are going to see a double change here. And it's a big welcome back as our sportscast cameras pan around and see the number 14 of Braden Sorge. It is a big welcome back to him after that injury that he suffered. A favourite here at Rockdale. He suffered that injury against the Marconi Stallions. He's been out for 2 months, probably ahead of schedule. And he's come on, along also with Jason Kukovsky. So a couple more changes as Nick Stavroulakis thinks perhaps also about Wednesday. They do have that Waratah Cup fixture, an important game. Cup final, the opportunity to win silverware. Making sure that he manages the load of the squad. But Sorge back in the fold at the right time of the season. With the midweek fixture coming up. Here's Sun Mola. Constable, one of those players that made way. Isaac Danso, the other player that came off, so that sees Pelikanos just drop a little bit deeper in that midfield. Rashudo's moved into the centre of midfield with Griffiths and Collins now in the centre of defence, and Sorge at right back, and that was almost undersold, that pass. Griffiths to Collins, just about finding its target. Here is Sorge. Slides it down the line for Sun Mola. That's a nice shape on that delivery. Who's it going to fall to on the edge of the box as George Esperanza collides with the referee, who's back up on his feet. Of course, an accidental collision there. And now the Sharks can look to come away. They'll be disappointed that they weren't able to make that stick. For a second or two, it looked like they might have the numbers. Still 3-2 over at the Mariners Academy. What a comeback from Lucas Veleles' men. Svekic looks to come out and grab that. Can the Sharks find one late? You've got 2 home games to come against the 2 St. Georges. St. George City next week, and then St. George FC, which could be a real pivotal one on the final day. They might need something come that final match. Here's Urosevski. Sun Mola down to Rashudo. And how often has he been the hero for the home side as Kukovsky turns on that? Couldn't quite get the power he would have liked. A 2-1 scoreline has been the storyline for Rockdale for so many times this season. And Rashudo's popped up with crucial winners against the Wanderers. Last week against the Wolves, and also on the road against Spirit FC, a late dramatic winner there. 3 times Rashudo's popped up in key moments late on to seal 3 points for Rockdale. They've moved him up into a more advanced area as an attacking midfielder, perhaps with that thought in mind. No change over at the Wanderers Academy. Sydney United continue to lead by 2-0. And remember, last night, the Marconi Stallions keeping the pressure on Rockdale with a 3-1 victory, continuing their amazing recent run of form. If they do fall just short as far as premiership honours are concerned, they'll take plenty of momentum and confidence into the finals. Had victories over Apia and Rockdale in the second half of the season as well. Stamatellis now over to McDonald. Can they get the delivery right? Can they get themselves an attacking moment where they test the keeper? And this is excellent work from Ahmed. And he goes in again. But that's going to be a bit too aggressive. And he's also going to go into the book. He won the ball, but he showed a bit of studs as he went in there against Pelikanos. The referee not hesitating and pulling out another yellow card Adjudication, of course, he might have won a bit of the ball, but it took a bit of the leg. With those studs showing, referees never like seeing that. Here is Griffiths, locked at 1-1. It's a tight, tense affair. The Sharks, will they be pleased to take a point away? This local derby, the over-the-bridge derby, it will be a point that takes them up to 26 if they can hang on to it. It's not over, as we've seen here at the Rockdale Ilinden Sports Centre, to the final whistle. Sunmola dances inside. Now he looks for Kataoka. Rashudo looking for the bounce with the central midfielder. Now Speranza. Kukovski. Rashudo with the flick on. Stamatelis only as far as Pelikanos. Stamatelis up against Sorge, two of the real experienced warriors in this competition. Stamatelis has to get back into position. Tries to cut out the pass. He's everywhere at the moment defensively for the Sharks. Clearance comes from Ahmed. Collins out to Griffiths, who started at right centre back. He spent some time at right back. Now he's out at left centre back. Such is the flexibility of the squad at the disposal of Nick Stavroulakis this afternoon. Here is Rashudo. Is there an opportunity here for some more late drama? Can they find another 2-1 victory? They're into stoppages over at the Mariners Academy. The home side continues to lead by 3-2. The Wolves, who are chasing points of their own, looking to solidify their position in the top 6. If they can't find a late equaliser, it'll be back-to-back losses for them. Somewhat stunting their progression at the later stages of the season. Sharks have it in the opposition half, where they need it, where they want it. But can they create anything? Looking to apply the squeeze on Rockdale. They have to be careful. Rockdale is so dangerous in forward transition. Stamatella stepping up to force Kataoka backwards. Now Sunmola has time to turn. And he's got Sorgi surging forward down the right-hand side. Here's Jason Kukovski. And what about the block from Stamatelis, the youngster, just hesitating momentarily. And Stamatelis, how many times have we seen that over the past decade, coming to the rescue for the Sharks? And doing it with a yellow card as well. He had to time it perfectly. In it comes, Stamatelis again, away. Only as far though as Urosevski, and he's got it on the left foot. This is danger for the Sharks. He cuts inside, Urosevski, and it was on the right foot, and he fired it over the crossbar. And we are going to see a change here for the Sharks, and it is going to be their new acquisition in the transfer window, the youngster in Richard Shueki. He's a wide attacking player. They do have Chris Lindsay also available on the bench still to come. But it will be an attacker, and it will be Mo Ahmed, the player that's had a terrific performance in the centre of midfield. We'll see what that means. It looks like Mason Fernandez will just drop a little bit deeper, and Shueki will go into the front three. To have a couple of options as well. Gulasano could slot in there into that midfield role, but Mason Fernandez is the player who's gone a little bit deeper. Can the Sharks find something late on here? If not, it will come down to their last 2 matches. Rockdale, meanwhile, will draw only their second game at home of the season. 10 in a row here at the Rockdale Ilinden Sports Centre. 10 wins in a row. We have to go back to round 2 for their only draw, and round 3 for their only loss. They came against Marconi and Blacktown City, respectively. So 30 points on the spin at home, and their local rivals that are so determined for points. There are appeals there by the Rockdale players. Didn't look like there was any intent at all. The Sharks can look to spring a counter-attack of their own here. But Braden Sorge was alert to that. He read it. And now Urosevski looking to get in behind, and Umabachi was working back. And they were relieved to see the flag go up. It wouldn't have gone in, but Umabachi was desperate to make the clearance, with Urosevski lurking. We are now at the mercy of the referee. Battle for possession in the midfield. Katsuta comes away with it, and that's a nice little touch there forward from Shueki. And it was too close to the keeper. Comfortable for Soros. McDonald, not sure if that was a cross or attempted goal. Here's Pelikanos now. Which way will this one play out? Is there going to be some more late drama here at Rockdale as Sunmola dances inside? Katsuta has been terrific in the centre of that midfield for the Sharks. He's got through a mountain of work. And now forward comes Griffiths. That left foot perhaps not his favoured foot. And he couldn't find the quality on that delivery to ask a question of the Sharks. How much longer? We're at the mercy of referee Ibrahimi. Can the Sharks create something? Turning onto it is Kataoka, who looks in behind. The flag has gone up. Vekic was off his line. Urosevski thought he was right on the shoulder of the last defender. But the Sharks did their measurements and they got him right. They've been terrific defensively against the hot-to-trot attack that is the Rockdale forward line, to limit them to only one goal, and that goal coming from outside the box from a set piece. Nothing in general play. You rarely see that here at Rockdale. And they've been marshalled superbly by Stamatellis. And they still have to see it out. If they're to pick up a point that could be crucial for them. Have they done the job? It's a point that could be crucial for both of these sides. It will take Rockdale 4 points clear of Marconi with 2 rounds remaining in those 2 games against Sydney FC next Monday, and then back here in a fortnight against the Central Coast Mariners. And how crucial could that one be as well for the Mariners? So much still to play for. The Sharks, they will go to 26. Can confirm the full-time score over at the Central Coast Mariners Academy. And what a comeback from the home side, 3-2. That moves them up to 28 points, 1 behind St. George FC. So they will leapfrog or go above the Sharks. Sharks will drop to 14th as things stand at full time here 2 points above Hills United, unless there is late drama. As their former player, Gulasano, looks to slot it in behind. The player goes down, and there's appeals there for a penalty. It went against them last week, and they thought that maybe the fortunes would turn here. As Shaweki made the run in behind, and that is the end of a pulsating, dramatic local derby, which ends 1-1. And the point that both will take, Rockdale move a step closer to a premiership. They're now 4 points ahead of the Marconi Stallions, while the Sharks, they move up to 26 points now, and 2 clear of the team currently sitting in second last spot, Hills United, who are on 24 points. It's been a dramatic contest. The Sharks really took it to the home side. Rockdale, you can see Rockdale's disappointment. They wanted nothing less than the 3 points today. They knew that the 3 points would just about seal the premiership. And they pick up a point, and they're still favourites with 2 rounds remaining. It'll take something dramatic in the next couple of weeks, but you just never know with the NPL New South Wales. Time after time we see it, and this one was another classic. It delivered a wonderful contest with the Sharks scoring on 4 minutes, only for Alec Urosevski to take his tally to 30 with the equaliser on 41 minutes after Stamatellis gave the Sharks the lead. It's been a pleasure to have your company on this big Round 28 NPL Men's New South Wales Match of the Round. Remember, still plenty to come this evening from Lambert Park, where Apia will be up against Sydney FC, who are desperate to pick up the 3 points. So make sure you join us later on for that one. But here, Tony Tanous wrapping up a 1-1 draw between Rockdale Ilinden and the Sutherland Sharks.